on the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's head up to Nashville for the Titans home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Now a play fake here on first down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
They go play action now. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 16 yards, a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On the defensive side, here are the starters for Tennessee. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Officially nothing on that. Last run, they'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson over the middle. Rodgers has it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
As this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch. But you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now. Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. This will be, 38 yards out. Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Titans get their first shot on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield. They go play action. Mayfield. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage. Because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend, sets all the line calls, and blocks so aggressively.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Protection. Certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And this will complete right side to Funchess. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Ross on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Titans. DeAndre Hopkins. His first touchdown of the new season, and the Titans have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky. High country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Let's go, D, tighten up.
Mayfield now from the 50. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Okay, baby, I see you.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
King. Hey, 4-1 Mike. Let's go.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is incomplete. There defensively was Matthias Farley to knock it away. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense. He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Titans. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is up to 8. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Titans will get the football at their 20. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, and it's third down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Mayfield now letting one go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Let's go.
Now Mayfield. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell.
They can't hang with that.
He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Wilson. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the 1st half. It's a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
Oh, no doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
So there's the first target for him in the game. We just mentioned earlier he had not been targeted. But the first completion, that hasn't happened yet.
He's been on lockdown so far, hasn't he? But that doesn't mean you don't keep trying to figure out a way to get him the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Even at 46 years old, Vinatieri's still dangerous from long range. He was 4 of 6 from 50-plus a year ago, and he drills another one here.
How about that technique? That's what gets it done every time. Great technique, great torque. 46 years old.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Mack. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe. because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second and a yard, Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time, was able to make the play defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. So we reach half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Pierre Desir. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Wilson, they'll run the screen with Mack. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be in.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to... what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down now, it's Bell, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It was Justin Houston who got him down, and he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They go with Chubb on second down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Titans on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Dancing to his left. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Steps away to his left. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you. With it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Jeremy Hill, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Wilson to throw on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So his third field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the fourth quarter. Throwing again on second down. Mayfield going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Titans. 42 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. 23 yards the pickup there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that might be Titan football. It is.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game. At this stage in the 4th, they needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play, first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to
pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield, throw right side, complete to Williams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson taken in by the tight end Doyle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have, as they get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And now he'll tuck it and run. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Titans on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mayfield looks to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on fourth down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. A minute 52 to play. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. And he's going to go down again. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Joey Bosa in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
You better be afraid of me. You better.
Now here's Hill, and he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jeremy Hill with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tucker with the extra point. They're all through up in Detroit. Chargers continue to pull away. They have opened that lead up even further. Phillip Rivers, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Tennessee, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.